Well, is this an exciting time for Alabama baseball, just postseason SEC tournament?
Yeah, I think anytime. You know, the SEC tournament is the one tournament that everyone feels like going in. You're in pretty good position for postseason, but also it's an opportunity to really get momentum, you know, as you get to that regional. And obviously in our case, with Alabama, you got a great fan base there, and if we can get going, get off to a good start, I mean, it really seems to build as we're there throughout the week.
You've talked about the team having built an identity at this point. What is that identity?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just a scrappy bunch. I mean, we've played gritty and scrappy all year, and I think there is, as I've said, I mean, there is a formula to this group, and it's quality starting pitching. We've got to play really good defense, and then I think offensively, we just got to be tough. I mean, we obviously don't have a lineup 1 through 9 that's going to hit balls out of the park. That's shown by 18 home runs throughout the year, but we find ways to take advantage of other teams' mistakes, and when that happens, we've done a good job with that. And then I think when our at-bats are really locked in, we have long at-bats, and the walk's a big play, and obviously the bunt game and the hit and run, those things. When we can do the little things well, we can create offense, and all that together is a winning formula for us.
Do you feel like that kind of lends itself to postseason play?
At this time of the year, especially in this ballpark that in Regions Park, being such a big ballpark, the home run's going to more than likely be obsolete, this weekend. So I think it does. And, anytime you can pitch and play defense, it's going to put you in position to win games. And then offensively, it comes down to getting the big hit. And I thought that was the key. Even take the South Carolina weekend, and, we were there, a couple of bats there to deliver the big hits, just didn't get it that weekend. And the times we do, we have a chance to be successful.
Any adjustment has to be made for breakfast baseball, is that called?
Well, you know what? We've got a tough team, and I feel like that's one thing that, we did a good job in that 9:30 game last year, and I think this group will be ready to play regardless of what time we play, but it is an early wake-up call. We've got our pregame meal set for about 6:30 in the morning, but it's part of it, and both teams going to play early, and the key to that is if you can win that ball game, then obviously you get the long rest, so it can work to your advantage if you can come out on top in that first ball game.
You talk about that matchup
with Arkansas.
Yeah, well, Arkansas has got tremendous young pitching, and they obviously have done a good job here as of late to win the Western Division. They went through a really tough weekend with Ole Miss, and obviously we've got a lot of respect for their program and what they've done, not only this year, but in the past few years. They've been to Omaha a couple times and very well coached. So, but, for us, it's another matchup that I think a whole lot doesn't change for us and what we want to do. They've got a really good running game, so that's something we've got to do a good job as far as being quick to the plate. And with Kilcrease on the mound, he does a good job with that. And obviously Bennett has had a lot of success the last 2 years throwing runners out. So the matchup sets up well for us, and it's really, I think, more about us and coming out ready to play and playing our game.
Took 2 out of 3 from them earlier this year. Do you feel like they're the same team you played them?
Well, I mean, we just started. Obviously had an opportunity to see them over the weekend at Ole Miss, and they've been really good at home, and obviously they've got a great home crowd, but here, I mean, it was early. I think it was the second or third weekend, and I think both teams have improved, through the season, but I think they still want to do the same thing they wanted to do, and they have the same identity, and as do we. So it comes out, and I think whichever team obviously can minimize the mistakes and do the things well that they set out to do, that's the team that's going to be successful in the end.
So Hooper Met's just a little different in that you can be more forgiving on a fastball and know that it's really going to take something to get out of it.
Yeah, I think the key all weekend is to throw strikes. I mean, and particularly out of the bullpen. Obviously we're really comfortable with our 3 starters. They've been strike throwers all year, and I think the key for us is the guys in the bullpen's got to come in, and they've got to do a good job to just pound that strike zone and play to that ballpark. And the one thing about a tournament too is it takes someone else. You know, I mean, obviously you've got your 3 starters and normally a guy or 2 out of the bullpen that have had success, but normally the team that wins the tournament, someone unexpected does something in a big way. And, you know, we let our guys know today. I mean, that's something. Who's going to be that guy that can step up and really impact the tournament?
How do you manage that bullpen differently in postseason?
Well, I mean, I think that obviously the way the bracket's set up has a lot to do with it, you know, because you have an opportunity to have Friday off if you win the first 2 games. But for us, you know, we're going to go in the same way, obviously, with Gilcrease and Morgan being game 1 and 2 starters. Smart, you know, will be available for probably just an inning, you know, in game 1. But if he got to game 2 and if we were in position, he could be stretched out a little bit, knowing if you're in position to win the first 2 to get that day off. So, but, you know, I think, too, we've got to look at the big picture at a regional. Some other guys need to get on that mound because it's going to take more than just 3, you know, to win down the road. And you want to get some guys out there and hopefully gain some confidence that they can move on to the next week, and you got a few more bullets in your pocket than you had before going into the tournament.
Is it full speed ahead with Holly right now?
Yeah, he's ready to go. I mean, we know what he can do, and it's still limited to, you know, probably every other day, an inning, maybe 2, you know, 25, 30 pitches I think is his max. But I think he's comfortable, and we're comfortable now that he can get on the mound and certainly give us an inning or 2 every other day, and that's big right now at this time of the year.
Speaking of the regional, I mean, I guess most all the teams that make the SEC tournament are in these days, I guess. But I mean, can you help yourself any, or?
Sure. I mean, I think right now, I mean, at least going in, I mean, we feel good that, you know, we would get in with our RPI and where we're sitting right now. Obviously, I think what we can do, you know, is play our way from a 3 seed to a 2 seed possibly. And I think obviously with anybody, you don't want to go in and play poorly. I mean, you want to go in and play well, and you want to get momentum as you move into that regional, because it can only help you into the next week.
Did you get a break with the number 7 seed, playing a team you've beaten twice and 3 teams from the West in your side of the bracket?
Well, I mean, I think we're comfortable, you know, with where we're sitting in the bracket. And, you know, obviously you've got the big 3 in the East, and I think everyone would tell you those are dominant, elite-type teams this year across the country. And I think the matchup sets up a little better in the bracket we're in for us. And those teams are all really good. And but it is, you know, a matchup that I think we're comfortable with going in to the tournament.
Can you just speak on Nathan Gilcrease being named SEC pitcher of the week or player of the week, one of the 2?
Well, very deserving, and I didn't realize. He was just telling me that's the first time he's gotten it in 4 years, and which amazed me. You know, as many games as well as he's pitched here, but I guess he saved his best for the last start here at Sewell Thomas. So very deserving, proud of him, and yeah, this is the time, you know, where those type guys really shine, and as I said on Thursday night, you know, when we most needed it, he delivered one of his best games of the year, and he has a way of doing that at this time of the season.